Hello, everyone. Hello, Doc. I hope that you are all doing well right now. And wherever you could open this presentation of mine, I hope that you are all doing good. I would like to apologize first for a very late upload of my presentation because of some reason. And right now, I am here to present the learning content number 7, and this is all about early childhood field experiences. Before anything else, I am Judy Ann Beñales, and I'll be reporting, of course, again, early childhood field experiences. The objectives of my presentation first is to get the opportunities to observe and practice in at least two of the three childhood age groups, ages from birth to 3 to 5, and 5 to 8, and also will get the opportunities to observe and practice in at least two of the three main types of early education settings between early school grades, child care centers, and homes and Head Start programs. So basically, since I am not teaching in physical classroom nowadays, I am an online teacher. I will just be flexing and presenting to you some photos I took when I was having a practicum when I was acquiring my bachelor's degree. So to start, I will be sharing to you characteristics of or some points that for us teachers need to always bring in ourselves and to always remember. And so here are the following insights. Let's start with number 1. The teacher is an effective practitioner grounded in content knowledge and skilled in impacting student learning. Now, before we finally get into the field of teaching early childhood classrooms or early childhood pupils, we must make sure that we can consider ourselves as an effective practitioner, grounded in content knowledge and skilled in impacting student learning. And of course, teachers are responsible for designing, enriching learning environments, creating a classroom climate favorable for learning and personal growth, and facilitating the individual learning of students as well as the learning in groups. Okay, shall we say that a teacher should consider herself or himself a well-professional individual ready for the service in teaching early childhood pupils. Now, I guess you are familiar with this. Pursuant to DEP Ed Order number 42 series of 2017, the field is hereby informed of the national adoption and implementation of the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers, or also known as PPST. I believe teachers, we are all familiar of this abbreviation. We've been meeting this concept all over all around the corner in dealing with learning instruction and teachers themselves. Now, this document is committed to support teachers to deliver quality teaching, which is vital in raising student achievement and reaching peak performance or performances. I guess it is self-explainable that we know that with the guide of PPST, teachers are into considering themselves if they have met the following domains. Remember, we have domain number 1, content, knowledge, and pedagogy. And going back to our first characteristic, we should be if an effective practitioner. We should know that we are an effective teacher, not just an effective teacher in commanding routines or giving routines to our early childhood pupils, but instead we should be having an effective learning instruction. How do we do that? Of course, we must be able to master our subject matter. We need to examine the things that we need to teach into our early childhood pupils. Okay. As for now, we dealing with first primary grades, kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2. There are like simple instruction, and we should know how to effectively deliver these lessons to them. And that we can have an effective learning instruction as well. We can give an effective learning experience to our pupils. So please take note of that. We have here the second insight that we need to remember, that we, teachers, we nurture and we are a caring leader. In other words, teachers, the teacher is a nurturing and caring leader. We are not just strict leaders. We are not just leaders that would guide them to do this, to do that, to give them directions in completing their activities. But take note, we have to nurture and we have to give them care. That is an effective leader. Okay, so teachers, the qualities demonstrated by teacher leaders, we should have integrity, we should have the commitment to our job, strong communication skills toward our pupils, the expertise, again, to the subject matter, the courage to simply deliver the lesson, discernment, of course, very important attitude, the focus, generosity, initiative, passion, positive attitude, one thing that we must consider. And another one, problem solving abilities and responsibility align consistently with those identified above. Okay, so we should consider this. You know, many people would say that teachers have like massive responsibilities and that we need to change our inner self if we want to be an effective teacher in our respective classrooms. That's true. But we don't need to change something in ourselves if we are truly called by our profession. We know that it is a noble profession, and when you are in a teaching ministry or in teaching job, it means that you are called and chosen. So I guess before we decide to be a teacher, we have all these characteristics mentioned in this insight. So we have, again, please try to, if we are not that caring enough, we try to exercise being more caring. Okay, we'll have to put in our mind the sense of nurturing, because why? We are the second parents of these kids that we will be teaching in a classroom. We are called loco parentes. Remember that? We are responsible and accountable of developing their intellectual aspect. Not just an intellectual aspect, but with the rest of the aspects a human being could have, and be able to be an effective instrument to change the society. Well, that these are like big words, but we all know that if we are into this profession, we could do and possibly deliver what is needed for us to give. All right, let's proceed to the third and last insight that I will be sharing to you, that remember that the teacher is a lifelong learner who, by example and instruction, invites lifelong learning in students. In other words, the teacher's inspiring lifelong learning, or TIL, project shows how connecting self-reflection and lifelong learning promotes competencies that teachers will need in the future, such as emotional self-regulation and the ability to motivate and engage students. What's the purpose of our students in going to school? To learn. not just learning a specific subject in a specific time, but for them to be able to learn and apply it in their daily lives. That's really important because we have to show an example to them. We should be teachers that are longing for more improvements, not just to master more of the subject matter, but be able to, you know, to grow professionally and personally. Well, to do that, let us be reminded again of the Domain 7 of Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. It's all about personal growth and professional development. This is not all about yourself. This is all about this is all about how you care about growing professionally. And if you are growing professionally and if you consider developing yourself professionally, you get to impart this ability and characteristics to your students. Domain 7 focuses on teachers' personal growth and professional development. It accentuates teachers' proper and high personal regard for the profession by maintaining qualities that uphold the dignity of teaching, such as caring attitude. Remember, we talked that a while ago. Respect and integrity as a teacher. This domain values personal and professional reflection and learning to improve practice. It recognizes the importance of teachers assuming responsibility for personal growth and professional development for lifelong learning. And so, I hope that these insights reminded you of refreshing yourselves to be more ready. I know that some of you have been teaching already in classrooms or maybe across the nation or all over the world, but simply to tell you, even if you are teaching online, you can still have these characteristics that we have just discussed. I'm so sorry about the noise. Okay, so of course, I have mentioned to you the objectives that I will be sharing to you the content, the main content of this presentation, early childhood field experiences. And so I have mentioned to you that I was able to practice and took some photos of my experiences when I was having my practicum all over my time in college. So I will be showing it to you in our next slides. So you can see it. This is an outdoor classroom. Actually, this is not taken on the class days, class regular days. It is taken during our church day. I am a Seventh-day Adventist, and part of our curriculum in Mountain View College is to enroll into a not mini, but a subject all about practicing our profession in more religious way, in more spiritual way, and in this way I was able personally to encourage these kids to write, draw, and express their feelings through such activities. And so you can see they are not even dressed formally like you can see students, pupils going to school, but they dressed like they're going to church because I mentioned to you a while ago. So we do this every Saturday. We go out to some local churches to, provide some activities and give them the activities that, these students can usually learn. Well, actually, the contents of these activities or the lesson that they can get from these activities is simply morals. Okay, the basic learning that a child can learn. These children were ages from, I think, as far as I can remember, from 4 to 8. And so at the end of this program, almost at the end of the semester, we held a graduation ceremony. Um, they were awarded by their complete attendance, by their specific abilities shown during the classes. And yes, I was able to learn a lot in this experience. Another one, this was exactly the practicum time that I had. And these students that you can see in the picture right now in the screen is just, I think they're just, yeah, they're still in grade one. And mostly they are all my personal tutees. I get to tutor them in English, especially, but I was able to teach them in classroom. I okay, it's my mistake. Actually, during our practicum, it was pandemic time, and so this pupils were not required to go to school. We um, have this blended learning wherein they could just send their completed requirements for us and we could check it. So what I do, since it's pandemic and I don't have the chance to interact with them, I make sure that my activities are doable for their age. We can remember in one of our teaching principles in teaching that the activities and the lessons that we should teach is must be developmentally appropriate. So I consider that, and this is where I ask them to draw their school and with their picture in there, so they have expressed their feelings. And one of the students also told me that she was like really she miss she misses going to school, and that touches me as a teacher because we are teachers in pandemic era. So yeah, this is how I usually ask them to do, and other tasks like cooking and with the supervision of their parents. So I make sure that everything I ask them to do are doable for their age, is doable for their age especially. And so this is just the only thing that I could share to you um, about my early childhood field experiences. And so I hope that you were able to learn something from it. Thank you so much for listening, and see you all in our next. Remember, we have this Proverbs 22, verse 6: train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. And so we are early childhood teachers. We are early childhood education teachers, and we should be partners of parents in developing the basic and fundamental abilities of our kids. Thank you so much again for listening, and have a good one.